What are the two most valuated investments ever? Tesla and Bitcoin. Out of all investments you could ever make, there are literally no other investments that are as valuated as these two. Bitcoin just a year ago used to cost less than $10,000 and now worth over $50,000. And since the beginning of the year, the price has doubled. But what happens if these two super valuated assets merge? That sounds like the recipe for disaster, but that's exactly what happened in the last few days. Elon Musk announced that you can now buy Tesla with Bitcoin. You don't have to convert your Bitcoins to US dollars to buy the Tesla. Just send your Bitcoins to Elon Musk's pocket directly and get your Tesla. This is insane, and an asset that you used to worth $4,000 less than 2 years ago now can get you a brand new Tesla. I can't believe that something like this is actually happening. These are the times when you feel like you should have spent every penny you had to buy bitcoins, but I think we are late to the party unless you believe that Bitcoin is going to cross $1,000 or $1 million like some people claim. But you know what? That's what's more important than that is hitting that like button. That's the best way to let know that you enjoy our videos. Imagine the people who used to mine bitcoins every day back when Bitcoin wasn't a thing. Back when you could mine multiple bitcoins a day, 1 hour of the mining Bitcoin in 2012 now can get you brand new Tesla in 2021. If 2020 was the hilarious, then 2021 is going to be much more fun. Crypto guys are having their best year ever, but that doesn't mean that the next year isn't going to be better. Only time will tell. For those who are interested in Bitcoin, we made an entire video about how to buy the Bitcoin and how to store Bitcoins, how to make sure your Bitcoins are safe. The link will be in the descriptions. But what's more insane is that it's Tesla Bitcoin's investments reportedly made more profit this year than the car sales in the whole 2020. Tesla is the auto manufacturers. You assume that their primary source of income is probably selling cars, but apparently it's not. Even if you argue that it's the tech company, you still won't think that its major source of income is Bitcoin. I am not trying to downplay you, Tesla, or to be negative about it, but I found that pretty hilarious. Tesla disclosed in the SEC filing the Fab 8 that it purchased 1.5 billion of Bitcoin. If its holding has remained the same size, it will reportedly have made 930 million profit. That's among 30% more than the company made from this car sale in 2020. If Bitcoin keeps growing and its at its rate, then Tesla will soon become the crypto company. He is giving Bitcoin a lot of the legitimacy because if such a huge company is investing in Bitcoin and accepting it as the form of the currency, that could push a lot of other companies to follow the Tesla's footsteps. It's still early to make any predictions because the market is still unstable, and we will have to wait to see what happens when the economy is stabilized. That what will happen to Bitcoin and Tesla when the Fed will rise interest rates to at least 1 or 2, even 2%. But that's not that I want to talk about in this video, but rather about Kathleen Wood's new Tesla's target price, which is $3,000. She thinks that Tesla is going to cross $3,000 by 2025. Just little context. Last year, before Tesla stocks split, Airkey Investments estimated that in 2024 Tesla's price would hit $7,000 per share, or 1,400 adjust for this 5 or 1 stock split. If you treat Tesla as an auto manufacturer, then this valuation will never make sense. However, ARK Invest is looking at Tesla as the future tech giant that's taken completely different approach, and it has the potential to change the world. We are still on a foolish society, so if Tesla would become the major player, to transactions the war into the sustainable energy, it will be worth far more than $3 trillion, which will justify its $3,000 stock price. Last year, Tesla produced around half of the million cars. By 2025, Kathleen Woods believes that number will grow to 10 million cars at best case scenario to finally match industry's leader Toyota, which sold almost 10 million cars globally despite the pandemic. In the worst case scenario, it will produce 5 millions. That sounds realistic, but we can compare Tesla to traditional automakers because they are in the complete different businesses, and I'm going to explain why. Tesla main businesses isn't cars but batteries and data. Think of Tesla as the energy company because eventually what they are doing is creating pretty similar products with the giant battery that you can charge at any of its superchargers across the country. Today's energy giant are ExxonMobil, Shell, Chevrolet, and they are valued over $200 billion each, although they don't have much future. First of all, oil is the finite resource. Secondly, as the world moves to renewable energy, these companies are going to shrink, of course. Oil isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon, but its usage will diminish greatly. Theoretically, Tesla has the potential to take over the entire market in the next 2 decades, but that's just a small part of it because if you take a look at the world's largest oil company, Saudi Aramco, it's valued of the $2 trillion, which tells you how big is that market is. And every oil country has its own local company that controls a certain chunk of the market, and it's valued at dozens of billions of dollars, if not hundreds. The problem with Tesla competitors is that they got into the game too late, and Tesla is so far ahead in this game that it's impossible for any company to catch it anytime soon. When Tesla announced that it's going to build the Gigafactory, it was unclear where it was the right decision or not. But it seems like the Gigafactory is Tesla's strategy to transactions the words to sustainable energy. Instead of the reinventing the wheel every single time, they just build a factory that efficiently build cars, batteries, packs, energy storage products, the power walls, and all that is left for it is to build as many gigafactories as possible. The company has become so efficient that they built their China gigafactory in around a year. Then, in the middle of the pandemic, Tesla announced that it's going to build its next gigafactory in Berlin, which is set to open in July this year. At this speed, it's pretty easy to imagine that within the next 5 to 7 years, the company will build the dozens gigafactories and will meet Catherine Wood's predictions of the 10 million cars a year. ARK Invest also beats on Tesla's announcement technology. Remember when Elon Musk said your Tesla could be earning you money when you are not using it because it will drive people around like an Uber? It sounds a bit futuristic, but theoretically it's possible, and eventually that's where the industry is headed to. So by 2025 the company should have reached level 5 autonomy, which sounds reasonable but not practical since the industry is over regulated, and since Catherine Woods predicts that ride hail would account for the majority of the Tesla's enterprise value of the 2025, it makes her predictions a little over optimistic. I don't doubt Musk's, but I think that's going to take a little longer. Nevertheless, if you are playing it long term, then you shouldn't care. If you want to learn more about Tesla, then check out my video on our second channel, which link I will in the descriptions. There are a few other things I wanted to talk about, such as how the price of your coffee could skyrocket because unfortunately a ship to control ships is stuck in the Suez Canal and is stopping the rest of the ships from the crossing the road, which could cut the supply China and cause the shortage of the coffee in the market. We complain about a $5 coffee. Now we might start having $20 or $30 coffees. Who knows? Well, we might talk about that in the future video. Meanwhile, if you want to know where the stock market is headed to, I made an entire video about that a few days ago. So make sure to check out it, but most importantly, give this video a thumbs up and as usual, and subscribe if you are new around here. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next one.